Enavera utapati tu se ashrayata. Ashraya janite kai enava padartha.
Enavera utpati tu se ashrayata. Ashraya janite kai enava padartha. Enavera utpati tu se ashrayata. Ashraya janite kai enava padartha. Ashraya janite kai enava padartha. Enavera utpati tu se ashrayata. Enavera utpati tu se ashrayata. Ashraya janite kai enava padartha. Ashraya janite kai enava padartha. Enavera utpati tu se ashrayata.
Enavera utpati tu se ashrayarta. Ashraya janite kai enava padartha. Enavera utpati tu se ashrayarta. Ashraya janite kai enava padartha. Enavera utpati tu se ashrayarta. Ashraya, the ultimate shelter. Janite, to know. Kahi, I discuss. E, these. Nava, 9. Padartha, categories. E, these. Navera, of the 9. Utpati, of the origin. Hetu, cause. Say, that. Ashraya, of the shelter. Artha, the meaning. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. To know distinctly the ultimate shelter of everything that be, I have described the other 9 categories. The cause for the appearance of these 9 is rightly called their shelter. So I will continue until verse 96, where there is a purport. So verse 94. Krishna eka sarvashraya, Krishna sarvadharma, Krishnara sharire sarva vishvara vishrama. The personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, is the shelter and abode of everything. All the universes rest in his body. Verse 95. Dashame dashaman lakshama shritashaya vigraham Shri Krishna kyam param dhama jagadama namamitat. The 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam reveals the 10th objects, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the shelter of all surrendered souls. He is known as Shri Krishna, and he is the ultimate source of all the universes. Let me offer my obeisances unto him. There is a one-line purport here. This quotation from Shridhar's famous commentary on the first verse of the 10th canto, chapter 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then verse 96. Krishnera svarupara shaktitrara jnana yanraya tanranai krishnete agyana. Translation. One who knows the real feature of Shri Krishna and his 3 different energies cannot remain ignorant about him. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Jiva Goswami states in his Bhagavad Sandarbha that by his potencies, which act in natural sequence beyond the scope of the speculative human mind, the supreme transcendence, the summum bonum, eternally and simultaneously exist in four transcendental features: his personality, his impersonal effulgence, particles of his potency, the living beings, and the principal cause of all causes. The supreme whole is compared to the sun, which also exists in four features, namely the personality of the sun god, the glare of his glowing sphere, the sun rays inside the sun planets, and the sun's reflections in many other objects. The ambition to corroborate the existence of the transcendental absolute truth by limited conjectural endeavors cannot be fulfilled, because he is beyond the scope of our limited speculative minds. In an honest search for truth, we must admit that his powers are inconceivable to our tiny brains. The exploration of space has demanded the work of the greatest scientists of the world, yet there are countless problems regarding even fundamental knowledge of the material creation that bewilder the scientists who confront them. Such material knowledge is far removed from the spiritual nature, and therefore the acts and arrangements of the Absolute Truth are, beyond all doubts, inconceivable. The primary potencies of the Absolute Truth are mentioned to be three: internal, external, and marginal. By the acts of his internal potency, the personality of Godhead in his original form exhibits the spiritual cosmic manifestation known as the Vaikuntha Lokas, which exist eternally even after the destruction of the material cosmic manifestation. By his marginal potency, the Lord expands himself as living beings who are part of him, just as the sun distributes its rays in all directions. By his external potencies, the Lord manifests the material creation, just as the sun with its rays creates fog. The material creation is but a perverse reflection of the eternal Vaikuntha nature. These three energies of the Absolute Truth are also described in the Vishnu Purana, where it is said that the living being is equal in quality to the internal potency, whereas the external potency is indirectly controlled by the chief cause of all causes. Maya, the illusory energy, misleads a living being as fog misleads a pedestrian by blocking off the light of the sun. Although the potency of Maya is inferior in quality to the marginal potency, which consists of the living beings, who are part and parcel of the Lord's, it nevertheless has the power to control the living beings, just as fog can block the actions of a certain portion of the sun's rays, although it cannot cover the sun. The living beings covered by the illusory energy evolve in different species of life, with bodies ranging from that of an insignificant ant to that of Brahma, the constructor of the cosmos. The pradhana, the chief cause of all causes in the impersonal vision, is none other than the Supreme Lord, whom one can see face to face in the internal potency. He takes the immaterial, all-pervasive form by his inconceivable power. Although all three potencies, namely internal, external, and marginal, are essentially one in the ultimate issue, they are different in action, like electric energy, which can produce both cold and heat under different conditions. The external and marginal potencies are so called under various conditions, but in the original internal potencies there are no such conditions, nor is it possible for the conditions of the external potency to exist in the marginal or vice versa. One who is able to understand the intricacies of all these energies of the Supreme Lord can no longer remain in an empiric impersonalist under the influence of a poor fund of knowledge. End of the purport. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manabhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvitam Savadutam Parijana Saritam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindana Veshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Kapatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhum Yadevacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I will try to talk about some different things about these purports, but please forgive me if I commit some mistakes, and don't hesitate to correct me. So we are in this material world. We are actually spirit souls. We are spirit souls. So we are spiritual in nature, but we are here in this material manifestation, covered by material energy, which has different names: material energy, Maya, illusion. And we are covered. Yes, we are covered by this energy. We can see already we are in this body, which is material body. We identify with this body, even if we are not this body, but we are inside and we identify with it. A little bit as if we were a driver in a car. When we're driving a car, we are sitting inside the car, but we know we are not the car. In the same way, the spirit soul, we are is sitting in this body as a vehicle in this material world, but we are not this body, or we are not the car when we are driving it. And we are covered by so many things. We have this gross body. We also have subtle body, which is composed by false ego, mind, and intelligence, and all of this is covering us. So there is I will quote some verses of Bhagavad Gita, which talk about Maya. For example, there is one very famous verse of the Bhagavad Gita, 7:14, which talks about Maya, the illusory energy. Devi Shakuna Mahi Mama Maya Durachaya Mamevaya Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. This divine energy of mine. So Krishna is speaking here, because in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking directly to Arjuna. So here he's explaining what is Maya. to Arjun. He says, this divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So the three modes of material nature are goodness, passion, and ignorance. And Krishna explains this divine energy of mine, talking about Maya. So he says that actually this energy is divine. This energy is mine. Krishna says this energy also belongs to Krishna. So it's here in the material world. It's the material energy, but it is divine, and Maya is Maya is divine because it is Krishna's energy, and Maya is actually very important because Maya is also one very important and great servant of Krishna. Maya is serving Krishna in this material world. Everything that she is doing here is for him. She's serving him very well, actually. She's very strong, very powerful, and she does this service for Krishna. So even if the living entities are superior energy of Krishna, they are covered by Maya, which is material energy. And Maya is very powerful, Maya is very strong, and Krishna explains that it's impossible to overcome Maya by ourselves, by our own efforts, by our own work. We cannot overcome the influence of Maya, and we're not really aware of these points. We know about Maya, we know about different things in Krishna consciousness, and we're like, yes, I know, I'm a spirit soul. Yes, I know, I'm in this in this body. Generally, we understand intellectually, but it's not Vigyan, it's not realized knowledge. The same way, we don't really understand how dangerous is Maya for us. Maya is covering us, and we don't really understand. We are not making so much effort to not be influenced by Maya. So we are in illusion. Maya is putting us into illusion. We are covered, and we are in illusion, and we have been in illusion for a long time. We cannot even remember how long we have been living in this material world, in how many lives we had before this one, how many species of life we have been through until today. And gunas is the Sanskrit word for for the modes of material nature, and another meaning of guna is rope. So we say that the conditioned soul, that we are conditioned soul, we're spirit soul, and we are conditioned in this material world. We say that the conditioned soul is tightly tied by the ropes of illusion. So we are completely tied by the ropes, hands, feet. And can you imagine you're completely tied with the ropes, and you're trying to untie yourself alone? Do you think you will manage to do it? You're completely attached. I mean, how can I do by myself? Even if I think I'm able to do it myself, it will not work. I can be convinced of this. Maybe I can think, it's okay, I have the power to do it myself. Nevertheless, it won't work. And someone else who is also attached, because we're all attached, all except the ones who are who are not. But we are so many to be tied by these ropes. And if we ask someone else next to us to unbound us, but they're also tied, how can they do? If you ask me, please help me, and I'm like this, and I say, I would like to help you, but look at me. I cannot untie you directly. So we can see by this image that the only person who can untie us is someone who is not attached anymore, who doesn't have these ropes around his waist and ankles anymore. And you understand easily that this person can come and say, oh, he he's free from this rope, so he can come and untie the ropes, help you untie the ropes for you. And only someone who doesn't have the ropes anymore can do this. At us, maybe what can we say to help others? Maybe, oh, look, there is someone who is untied. Maybe you should ask this person to help you. So yeah, I really like this image, and we can understand that in Krishna consciousness, only someone who is not bound in illusion can help us. It's exactly the same thing. It's the same thing. So generally, it's the spiritual master, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, the one who gives initiation, or Shiksha Guru. We can have so many spiritual masters who we are taking guidance from. And only by this way, it is really the principle of Krishna consciousness. Only by this way we can go out of this illusion, not by our own efforts. Of course, we have to make efforts ourselves. If I don't want to be unbound, of course, even a person who cannot help me, if I don't have the desire, then it cannot work. I have to have the desire myself. I have to make some efforts. I have to we have to approach these persons and ask for help. Understand that ourselves we cannot do it. It's important. We really have to understand this point, because as long as we think we can do it ourselves, Krishna cannot help us. You can see children, when they want to do something, they really think they can do it, and but they finally they see, oh no, I cannot do it, and the parent is there, and the parent is looking at the child, and he doesn't want to much interfere, because he's looking at the child and he's there, even if he's not interacting. At first he's there and he sees the child, what this child is doing, and does he need my help? If he needs my help, I will run to help this child. But sometimes we're like, oh no, I see I didn't really, I cannot do it by myself. But with our false ego, we're like, no, I can do it. I will not ask for help. I will I will manage myself to do it. And the children, they continue, they try. And the parents, they say, okay, or sometimes they say, do you want, I can help you? And the children can even become angry. No, I will do it myself. I'm a big boy. I will do it myself. I don't need your help. I know how to do it, even if it's completely not true. And after some time, sometimes he tries, and sometimes, okay, after sometimes he really realized that no, actually, I'm not able to do it, actually. And sometimes he even starts to cry and to be completely desperate. And then he looks, he turns the head and he looks at his mom or dad and asks, "Mommy, Daddy," and even not asking, just crying because he's completely in distress. And then the parent just come and takes the child in his arms and help this child. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing for us. Until we think we can do it, and we don't let the space for Krishna to act, because Krishna loves us, and he's there. He's there like this parents, like, and we are his children here, and he's there even if he doesn't directly interact, or even if we don't see what he's doing. He's there and he's looking at us, and if we're trying by ourselves, yeah, and we don't give him the space, he cannot directly act and help us. But if we're really sincere, if we really understand that we cannot make it by ourselves, because we tried, sometimes we need to try a little bit and we understand, and okay, sometimes we need to try harder. Sometimes it takes so long, or it takes so many times we try, it doesn't work. Okay, we try, it doesn't work. We try, it doesn't work. Sometimes it can take many times trying like this to realize that, oh no, actually I cannot. And then when we turn to Krishna and really sincerely say that, oh, okay, I realize I'm completely helpless, actually. I cannot. And only you are Krishna, you are the Supreme Lord, the Absolute Truth. You're everything, and he can do everything. And then if he sees you realize this and you're sincere, he can come. And if you let him the space, he's only waiting for this. He's just waiting us to do this. And the spiritual master actually is a representative of Krishna. So when we take guidance from a spiritual master, we're actually, Krishna is acting and talking through the spiritual master. So in that way, he can help us. And the same way when we are start to inquire and feel the desire to take shelter of Krishna and have a spiritual master, it is said that Krishna gives the spiritual master, and then and the spiritual master gives Krishna. So by the mercy of Krishna, he will reveal to us who is our spiritual master. Because there are so many now spiritual master. We can be bewildered, we don't know. But if you're really sincere and if you really want to take shelter of Krishna, he will show us, and it will be clear. It will be crystal clear. Sometimes so many things we think we know, but it's so much intellectual. We're so much in the mind, and sometimes we think, oh, maybe for so many things, but even for the spiritual master at the beginning when we're inquiring, and it's normal to inquire and learn how are the different spiritual masters, their mood, etc. But sometimes we can think, oh, maybe this is this spiritual master, this person, this spiritual master, this devotee, who, and we don't know, because we don't know. It will be revealed by Krishna, but it's mental. We're trying to. It's good to try to inquire and based on the knowledge we have also of the Shastras, try to see who is a bona fide spiritual master, who is authentic, is what he's saying, is it in phase with the Shastras? It's very important. So it's normal to do this, but knowing really something is in the heart, is not in the mind, for everything. And when we know in the mind, we don't really know. And when we start to know things in the heart, we can immediately sense the difference. It is completely different. It's clear and it's deep, and there is no doubt. There is no doubt. It's not like the mind. It's not like it's not like intellectual understanding. Yes, and in one Upanishad, Shvetashvatara Upanishad, it is said, freedom is possible only by understanding Krishna. So, yeah, I wanted to mention something that is in the Nectar of Devotion, and I thought it was important. And actually, it's mentioning Garuda Purana, that says the state of conditioned life in the material world is just like that of a man lying unconscious, having been bitten by a snake. This is because both such unconscious states can be ended by the sound of a mantra. Anyone who is in the material world is also sleeping, as he is ignorant of his actual self, or his actual duty, and his relationship with God. So materialistic life means that one is bitten by the snake of Maya, illusion, and thus, without any Krishna consciousness, is almost dead. One can be brought back into Krishna consciousness from the deadly unconscious state of material life by hearing of the Maha Mantra. So, as it is explained here, yes, we are in this illusion, and the only way to get out of this illusion is Krishna consciousness. This is actually the only solution in life. There is no other solution. Sometimes we can try to resolve life because we have so many problems. Oh, this problem with health, this problem with, I don't know, money, this problem with a relationship, this problem with in the material world. There are problems in every areas of life. We cannot stop it because it's proper to material world. It is a fact that we have to accept. It is like that. But the solution is not the actual problems of life, as Prabhupada explains. Krishna explained, is death, old age, disease, and birth. It starts with birth. birth, disease, old age, and death, which are actually the problems of life. And the only way to resolve these problems is actually to take to Krishna consciousness, and it's very simple. Because as it is explained here, one can be brought back into Krishna consciousness from the deadly unconscious state of material life by hearing of the Maha Mantra. It is very simple. It is very simple. The Maha Mantra is extremely powerful, and the Maha Mantra is the holy name of the Lord, and the holy name of the Lord is not different from Krishna himself. So when we chant the holy name of the Lord, either in japa or in kirtan, we are directly associating with Krishna. Because in this age of Kali, Krishna is so merciful that he is accessible to us in this form, in the form of his name, and he's there. And sometimes we are looking for Krishna and we're wondering, but where is Krishna? I'm looking for Krishna. Right? He's here in so many forms, because everything is Krishna. He's here on the altar on his deity form. He's there in so many forms. But if we just try to understand the power and the meaning of the Mahamantra, the holy name of Krishna, he is in his name. He invested all his potencies in his name. How can you, I mean, I don't realize this. It's really intellectual understanding. But if we really understand the importance we give to japa and to kirtan, do we really give our japa the importance we should give to it? We are actually, when we're chanting the holy name of Krishna, we are with him. There is nowhere else to look for Krishna. He is here. He is here. He is with us. We can chant. Can you imagine how merciful he is? Because we can chant 24 hours 7. We can. There is no time we cannot chant. There is no place we cannot chant. There is no rules and regulation for chanting. We can chant all the time. We can chant everywhere. So we can be with Krishna anytime, all the time, and everywhere. We can be with Krishna. And still we're asking ourselves, where's Krishna? Where can I find him? Oh, I would like to be Krishna. Do you really want to be with Krishna? Do you really want to be with Krishna? Because if you really want to be with Krishna, you will understand that he is there in his name. And then you will get association with him. I prepared so many things, but actually I'm just talking about very few points. So I wanted to talk about the thing that we are covered by Maya. We're in illusion, and to get out of this illusion, we have to take shelter. We have to take shelter of Krishna and his representative. We have to take shelter of a spiritual master. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, for one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. Actually, a devotee of Krishna is always with Krishna, because he's completely absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. He's completely with Krishna. There is nothing else. He is always with Krishna. It doesn't mean that he's sitting here and chanting all day, or he can do this if it's possible, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't do anything. He eats, he sleeps, he interacts with other people, he does his service for Krishna. He does many sorts of things, but he's completely dedicated to Krishna. He's completely dedicated to him, and he understands his eternal position of eternal loving servant of Krishna. He understands that this is his true position, not being here, this woman, this man, I don't know, or even animal. No, this is temporary. The identity we think we have here in this material world is temporary and is illusion. This is temporary, and this is not who we are. But when we really understand our true identity of eternal loving servant of Krishna, this is very deep. This is very, very deep. Then we can, yes, we understand Krishna is there, and we are building, developing a relationship with Krishna directly. We have relationship with Krishna. We already have. We are spirit souls. We are from the material world, actually. We are coming from there. We already have relationship with Krishna. And we already are spiritual. The spirit soul is spiritual. And the spirit soul already has Krishna prema. The spirit soul already has love of God. The spiritual is already pure. The spirit soul is pure, and the spirit soul is a servant of Krishna. So we just have. It's not like we are gonna manifest it in front of us. We are not going to manifest Krishna Prem. We are not going to a fabric. We are not going to build it. It's not artificial. I'm building this. No, it is there. It is there. It is the very essence of the spirit soul, pure, and to love Krishna. It's our nature to love Krishna. So we just have to uncover it. We just have to uncover it. It's there. It's there. This is so. I'm really fascinated by this. It is there. We just have to uncover all that is not necessary. The spirit soul is there. The spirit soul, we are the spirit soul. We don't have a spirit soul. We are the spirit soul. And we love Krishna. Naturally, it is our nature. We just have to uncover it. It is like a bulb, a light bulb with lights and covered by black tape. We are like this. We are like this. And it doesn't mean there is no light. There is light, but we just cannot see it. We cannot see it because it's completely covered. So by the help of the spiritual master, by taking shelter of the spiritual master, by taking shelter of Guru, Sadhu, Shastras, by taking shelter of the spiritual master, of the Vedic scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the Vedic scriptures, by taking shelter of the sadhus, of the devotees of Krishna, because Krishna is also present in his devotees. Where is Krishna? He is where his devotees are. Where is Krishna? Krishna is where we talk about him. Then he's there. Krishna Katha, Sadhu Sangha, when devotees are associating, are joining together to talk about Krishna, Krishna is so pleased. He comes, he's so pleased to see this. So when we take shelter of Krishna in all these different ways, then slowly he helps us uncover, remove this black tape, and finally we can see the lights and the soul. The soul, we can finally, the soul can be completely uncovered. And Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita that the one who really takes shelter of him, they will come back to him. He assures this to Arjuna, and when he talks to Arjuna, he's talking to us also. When we're reading the Bhagavad Gita, we take the position of Arjuna, so we are having this conversation with Krishna. Krishna is assuring to Arjuna, to his devotees, that if we surrender unto Krishna, he will take us back to him. We will go back to him if we really surrender to Krishna, if we want him. Because we have to have the desire. Without desire, nothing can be possible. Everything comes from the desire. We can see in this material world already materially. If you don't have the material desire to do something material, already nothing material will happen. But spiritually, it's the same. If you don't have the desire to be with Krishna, if you don't have the desire, it cannot happen. But even if we don't have the desire to be with Krishna or to serve Krishna selflessly, we can pray for this. And we can pray to have the desire to be with Krishna. We can pray to have the desire to serve Krishna selflessly and his devotees. This we can pray. And we can desire to have the desire, even if it can be so far. We can have the desire to have the desire to have it doesn't matter. Still, we are making efforts, and when we're making one step towards Krishna, he's so pleased, even if it's a tiny, tiny, tiny step. How many? 1,000 or 10,000 steps he's making back to us, just when we make one step, because he's so pleased and because he wants so much to take us back to him, because this is where we belong to the spiritual world. We have relationship with Krishna. Krishna wants to have this back. He wants to have us back. He wants to have our relationship with us back with him, and he's so pleased when he sees this, that he's helping us so much. And if you really want to see, we will see that every tiny efforts we're making, he's so pleased. The devotees are so pleased, and they are so willing to help. This is amazing. We are so much fortunate, and all that we have here thanks to Prabhupada, because he gave us everything. He gave us everything to become Krishna conscious. Actually, he gives us everything possible for us to go back to Krishna. He gave us this wonderful family of devotees. We cannot go back to Krishna. We cannot be with Krishna. We cannot have Krishna without devotees. Devotees are giving Krishna. Without devotees, there is no more Krishna consciousness. He gave us this, all the books, the wonderful books he led us. This is treasure. And Prabhupada said he puts everything in these books. He puts all his love for Krishna. He puts his ecstasy in these books. He puts everything. These books are the expression of love of Krishna and of the devotees of Krishna. The expression, it's difficult to understand, but even if we try to understand, we can realize at what point this can be important. And all the love that Prabhupada has for us, because he's still present with us, he's present in the form of his books, he's present in the form of his mission, Krishna consciousness, spreading Krishna consciousness in the world to the ISKCON society. His presence under so many forms, and we should be so grateful, and we should try to understand the value of all of this, even if we can understand just a little bit. Try to understand at least a little bit all the value of all of this, and that the treasure it represents, and be grateful for everything that he has given to us. Sorry, I was thinking of mentioning many things, and something else happened, and yes, I will start here because it's already past 9. Thank you so much for everything.